Joined by Prince George Cougars GM and head coach Mark Lamb. Mark, as we speak right now, you guys have kind of had a bit of a camp on the weekend, and we get set for the start of the preseason here for your group this coming weekend. But let's circle back to kind of what the last 7 to 10 days has been like for you with all the guys filtering back into town. Just give me a sense of what the energy level, the excitement level is like this year as the Cougars get set for another season.
Well, I think excitement. We're really optimistic about where we're at in our organization and in the cycle that we're in. You get all the players back. Especially the veterans. A lot of the young kids that especially the 08s that you just drafted. You don't know a lot about, or myself, some of those kids I hadn't seen play, just seeing them on video. So it was really exciting to get to know all these kids. But as a whole, as training camp got going, the veterans got in, and you do your fitness tests, and you get into your scrimmage. It was a very positive training camp so far.
I get the sense that there's some real momentum building after last 2 years ago, the reaching the playoffs last season, reaching the second round, and now it's I get the sense that there's a lot of excitement up there with respect to kind of what you guys have managed to build over the last few years. Maybe just kind of speak to just the sense of momentum perhaps that you guys have following last season.
Yeah, I get and I think that's what it is a momentum, and momentum can be built at various times. And last year, we got on a decent roll. We won that first round of the playoffs, and you get a real taste of what winning's like. And it was the progression from the year before. We did make the playoffs. We got a taste of it. We didn't have a lot of success in it, and now we're getting some experience. The Riley Heights and the Cohen Ziemers that were drafted. They got playoff experience now. They had great years. I'm using those two names because they're our two guys that got drafted, and they're going to be our offensive leaders. But so the hype, those guys bring a lot of hype because of their skill set. But when you look at our team and you look at our depth, I don't think our depth has ever been better. We got a lot of good pieces. So it's an exciting time. But we all say in hockey, you can have all those pieces, but you got to do the right things.
On paper, and from what we've seen, kind of over the last year to 18 months from your group, Mark, it's an exciting group to watch, right? Obviously with Riley and Cohen, like you mentioned, we'll get to them in a moment. But offensively, I mean, you guys have kind of set a standard for being able to produce offense from just about anywhere on the ice, with the likes of Thornton and Sampson on the back end as well. I mean, just give me a sense of just the up-tempo style that you guys like to play, and just a matter of winning and winning with offense, and just the importance of being able to get contributors up and down the lineup for you.
Yeah, and we think like we have some high-end skill, and we do have some younger skill that's coming up, and we do we play a up-tempo type of game. We bring a lot of offense from our back end, and you mentioned we had Sampson last year, and he's an overage player that we expect to turn pro. But that's the way that we want to play, but we want to add some layers to our game also. If you ever want to be a winning championship caliber type of team, you got to be able to play any different way. And offense is a tough thing to teach, and we do have a lot of offense, but we need to clean up other parts of our game.
Tell me a bit about just what it meant from an organizational standpoint to see the success of Riley and Cohen being selected at the NHL draft. Of course, Riley going to Minnesota and Cohen Ziemer going to the LA Kings.
Yeah, and that's when your organization, when it starts making progress, you have good players, and that's exactly where our organization is right now. In the years before, like the year before, we had two of our goaltenders drafted, and so we're starting to put good players on the ice, and when you put good players on the ice and good people on the ice, the NHL scouts see that, and that's what's happening in our organization right now.
Would you say from a player's standpoint that just maybe the expectations have also changed a little bit now that you do have a core, and you do have a core with some experience.
Yeah, and that's I think expectations do change, and what we have to be careful of is everybody telling us we're really good, because you still have to go out there and you have to do the right things, and if you don't do the right things, just being good isn't good enough. There's a lot that goes into winning, and we're a long ways from winning.
You were one of the teams, Mark, that didn't make a selection at the CHL import draft this year, and that you have two returnees in Becker and Kometz. You know, obviously for both of those guys, their first year coming over to North America a year ago. Uh, how do you think that maybe year two and being acclimatized will help them with their development and again to provide some of those layers for your group?
Yeah, we couldn't be happier with both our import players. Kemich has been here, for a few years now. Becker was here his first year last year, and you could really see the progression, especially for Becker. It's his first year. Kemich, he's like a veteran around here. It's like he's, was born here. He just fits in so well. And but Becker, he started off. He's a quieter kid that really took off in the last half. And we're just so happy to have both those players on our team. And when you have two good players like that, it's nice not to have to draft somebody in the summer.
Lastly, for you, Mark, I know it's the Cougars' 30th anniversary this year of being in Prince George, and the logo was unveiled a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, just give me a sense of just how perhaps the organization can use that 30th anniversary as a chance to really celebrate where you're at, and celebrate some of the successes that the organization has seen in the past as well, to kind of keep building that culture.
Yeah, I think it's very important when you look at, any type of anniversary as a milestone, and, the 30 years is a long time, and there's, you get people talking about it. That's the biggest thing, is you get people talking about your organization. There's a lot of positive stuff that, from last year. Now it's the 30th anniversary. So I think it just brings out the memories. It makes them more special from the people that have been around, and it makes the people that haven't been around, that they can create some memories in the future.